1492, Columbus sailed the That was really good for Christopher Columbus, but he was not the first. It was actually some brave, adventurous, red-haired Scandinavians who wore helmets with no horns. Yes, the Vikings, the first Europeans in Canada, in the year 1000 Anno Domini, that is, in the year of our Lord. Lucky Leaf crossed the Atlantic Ocean and explored a new world.
Look at this land! It has grapevines, pastures, and streams! I think we will settle in this newfound land. I shall call it Finland! For your bachelor lads, row! Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 like a sad
The Vikings, however, were not the first people to live in Canada. Across this great land were many different nations who called this land their village. The French explorer Jacques Cartier had an experience with the Haudenosaunee, which had a lasting impact on our nation.
I think he is telling us all this land is called Canada. Excuse me, sir. I think he means those houses over there. No, believe me, I know the word, and Canada means old land. We also learned that Canada would not have been a country if not for the beaver and the muskrat. Their furs were wanted in Europe. Their furs were used to make jackets and felt hats. Used the mercury to get the fur ready. The axe created lots of hats. The mercury was used to blood up the hats and made them bad. And I don't like the bad habits of Alice in Wonderland. Over the centuries, both the First Nation and European travelers took millions of animals for furs. I need to find me a good beaver muskrat. Over! Hooray, hooray, it's Big Red Rodent Day. The beavers are dead, muskrats small. We stop to celebrate them all. Their glory, hello, beaver dam. That makes you say I am. That makes you say I am.
It was the desire to discover new lands and new sources of fur that pushed many to explore this land. The Hudson's Bay Company sent many people to explore. The rivals, the Northwest Company, sent Alexander Mackenzie, Simon Fraser, and Jacob Johnson to search for new routes across the land to the ocean. Simon Fraser traveled down the river that now has its name, and when he came to a place where the river was very narrow, he described this narrow passage as a place for no human to venture, which really designed the kings of hell. A little while later, the Hudson's Bay Company established a permanent trading port in the Fraser Valley called Fort Langley. Still, there were not very many settlers who lived in the new land.
Welcome to Fort Langley, Hudson's Bay Company Fort. I see you have some fine furs with you. Let me see them. They're all here. I think these furs are the full office. You have these. Welcome to Fort Langley, Hudson's Bay Company Fort. Hello, we have sockeye salmon to trade with you. Let me see how many you have. Great, 2 barrels full. Yes, they are good and valuable. So, each be soon done in 5 weeks? No, too late. 5 weeks.
It was in the 1850s, First Nations along the Fraser River found large chunks of gold and traded it with the HBC. When the Americans found out, they came in droves at the beginning of 1858. You know what was the month's time?
lost its luster, things were difficult for the colonies of British Columbia and Vancouver Island, so they joined together. At this time, in the USA, James Polk was trying to become president. His slogan was 54-40 or fight. He wanted the land all the way up to the 54th parallel. That's up past Prince George. The desire of the Americans to take over what they called Oregon Territory for their own pushed the colonies of British Columbia to join the Confederation of Canada in 1871. They were promised a cross-country railroad. The last railroad spike was nailed into place after Belgium.
Come on, boys, put your backs into it. We're almost like a donkey.
So lads, who's gonna die this week?
Not me. It was Frank and Gerald Bob last week.
And the week before, it was Zane, like me, and Zane, me. Yeah, but we gotta drop it. Let's sing.
I'm working on the railroad all the livelong day. I'm working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. We are proud to be Canadian and are thankful to God that He has blessed our country. We also hope and pray that He will continue to feed our country for the next 150 years.